Hey, what is going on? Y'all can hear me? I want to make sure my audio is good. Can y'all hear me? Oh. Mm, hey. Hello. What is going on? What is up? Okay. What is going on? Y'all know I had to turn around. I had to come on here. I'm gonna be on here for a little minute. For a little quick little minute. Child, let's really have a conversation. How y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you at. Hello. Hello, beautiful people. Hello. You know, I wanted to talk about this real quick. Like, men really don't be caring. They don't. And I'm just seeing, like, yeah. Uh-huh. He sure did. As he should. Jump right on in your woman hand in your woman arms. As he should. As he should. Yo, you know what's so crazy? Like, I'm seeing a lot of um a lot of things on social media where like the ladies are, when they talking about hold on. Hold on. Mm-mm. Yeah, no, it's good. Now, you want to know why the title is Men Really Don't Care? Because the like men really don't care. They don't really care about like the things that a lot of these women are putting emphasis on. And what I mean by that is that I'm seeing a lot of like females who are, say, whether if they are well to do off or if they are in the process or whatever the case is. They always say, "Oh, I want a man that has X amount of motherfucking dollars, whether if it's six figures or he's making money or whatever the case is." And then it's just like, so I'll give y'all this example. I was looking at something on social media, right, where this woman, she makes 400K, and she's like she wants someone that's loyal, someone that is you know, the basics, loyal, trustworthy, all that other stuff. And then she's like, oh, you know, he has to make six figures because she makes 400K. Now, this is my thing. A lot of those females that be saying that, a lot of it still comes from a certain space. And when I was looking at the comments, there was a guy, and like a lot of men in the comments were saying like, yo, we don't even care how much the female makes. So the fact that y'all are putting so much emphasis on how much a guy should make just because you're making 400K, but yet you don't look like what you're asking for. And by say that, I say that in a way where it's like, I don't think a lot of females understand like the requirements from the guys that they are trying to say that they want. You want a man with money, do you know what that comes with? And I'm not even talking about from a toxic stance. I'm talking about to the guys who have a half a brain. They're making money emotions. Why not just like the dude that actually fucks with you? You want loyalty, you want a guy that's committed, you want a guy that's always choosing you, but yet you're saying he has to make more than me. And then you want to throw in because of inflation and all that other stuff. So if you do see, so now it's just, it goes into like the whole, okay, you want marriage, so what about for better or for worse? Now, I'm not saying where it's like, you know, you have to deal with a guy who's a bum or whatever the case is, because bum energy is not even just about just the materialistic. A lot of times these places where these same females who are in a position, you have the money, you have the resources, but you look unhealthy. You have the money, you have the resources, but you took so much time to dive into your work, your accolades, your studies and all this other stuff to build yourself up because of whatever other damage, but you didn't take care of that part. And a lot of guys, like men really don't care about that. A lot of men really don't care about how much you're making. A lot of men really, like seriously, a lot of men just be like, yo, I want you to continue to show up. And I'm talking about the dudes that's a half a brain. If you are saying like, oh, there's no guys out here like this, you're the problem. Because then when a real one does come along, let's just say if he does come along, he always chooses you. He shows up for himself. He's consistent. Maybe he may not make six figures, but he makes maybe say 40, 50, 60K or whatever the case is. He's stable. He got a half a brain. He's responsible. You gonna turn that man down because he doesn't make six figures or he doesn't make as much as you. But yet when you go and you choose the guy who makes just as much or more than you, he's still fucked up. And he doesn't treat you with the level of respect, give you the time or the energy. So that's always the funny part about it, because a lot of times the things that a lot of females are emphasizing on is the things that when the guy looks at a female, he really doesn't care about that. Like, do you really know what you're signing up for? Do you really realize that that guy that you are idolizing off of, a lot of it be from lack, a lot of it be from fear, a lot of it be from because you didn't get it from your last. So you mean to tell me you are up 400K, but you look unhealthy? You're up 400K, but you didn't take time to put into yourself. You want to be someone's wife, or you want to be a mother, but you haven't even taken that time out to mother yourself first. You do realize that when you are dealing with a man who has money, he has a level of discipline, he has a level of structure. Are you also adaptable? Are you also a female that is open to change? And by change, I don't mean like, oh, you know, fearing, because a lot of times women are moving from a fear base. They are fearing even sharing with the guy because they're fearing that he's going to leave. But y'all don't even pick the dudes that actually always choose you, respect you, and show up for you. And it's even like, I remember when Tabitha had when she came up and she bubbled and she said that she retired her husband, The women in the comments were slaughtering her. Oh, why would you do that, this, that, and the third? That man loved her genuinely before and after and chooses her over and over and over. How y'all be talking about these vows and want to get married, talking about till death do us part? So if now if it's y'all over here fighting, then what? If he fall off, then what? Men really don't be caring about the certain shit that a lot of females be trying to emphasize on. Men don't really be caring about how much your bro makes. Men really don't be caring how much accolades. Are you a good fucking person? Because some of y'all women that make money or have all this, y'all got nasty ass attitudes, nasty ass habits. Y'all don't even take care of y'all bodies. Y'all don't take care of y'all minds. Y'all got a bunch of bread, but you are forgetting the intricate details, and that is the infrastructure of you. Some of y'all will get into these relationships with these men who are good men. Let's just say they got whatever sort of half a brain, they got the money, they got this, but yet y'all still carrying around that pain, that hurt. I don't give a fuck about, oh, you know, you ain't have sex in 10 years. Is it because of out of obligation or let's just say you ain't have sex in 10 years. So what did you do in 10 years besides build a company? Do you think that you really equipped for integration? Do you understand what adaptation is? Or are you still having a long list? Because I guarantee you, if you worked on yourself and you was able to give in a place of peace and you wasn't given out of fear, because if you are still running around worried about a guy who, let's just say, doesn't make as much as you, but this man is actually responsible. This man is actually moving and he's making moves. He's not a lazy man. We ain't talking about the bums. We ain't talking about that. We are talking about a man who is still protecting and providing in some sort of fashion. I ain't talking about the bums. I ain't talking about the man child. I'm talking about the men who are, if they got a regular fucking job, you can make 400K, but you fucking with a plumber. You wouldn't fuck with a bus driver, but you'll turn around and try to change him. But a guy will turn around and take you for who you are, and you expect a guy to take you for who you are, but yet just because you make 400K and you still got a nasty ass attitude, you still got nasty habits, you think that nurturing is a sense, or you still just want the man to be emotionally there and all this other stuff. A lot of females are not even equipped or don't even have the prerequisites for the man that they are talking about. This is why I say men really don't be caring. And as I'm seeing these conversations, and especially from the women who are in a big age, I ain't talking about these 20-year-olds. I'm talking about for the females that are 35 and older, still having these conversations and still saying, oh, you know, I make this amount of money and I do this, so I need a man that's this, that, and the third. It's very interesting because then when you see the guys who have whether if they're making six figures, they're making 80K or whatever the case is, they're just saying, all that doesn't matter, because it seems like the men are paying more attention to how the females are taking care of this and taking care of this. Because they done came across a whole bunch of women that they look good on the outside and they look good on paper, but they don't know how to show up or they don't know how to share. Because just imagine, you make 400K, he makes 600K. He built a corporation, you built a corporation. He worked on himself, but the moment that you got with him, you forgot about yourself. There's a certain standard. There's a certain way you have to show up for a guy who's making this bread. Because you could say that you want a man with money and he making six figures, but are you ready or are you prepared to deal with a man that's addicted to success? Are you prepared to deal with a man that's never home? Are you prepared to just deal with a man who all he knows is just know how to provide and that's it, but he don't know how to show up? Or he doesn't really want to actually get to know you? Or let's just say you have been working solo for so freaking long that you don't even know how to operate when you have a guy who is making some level of money and he is trying to integrate himself, but you still moving from a place of fear. You don't want to share because I built this up and this, that, and the third or whatever, but you're not even open or receptive to said man. He makes more money than you, so maybe he may be a little bit more efficient. Do you really understand what integration is? Do you really understand how to even understand your body? Because even as a female, 35 and older, you are learning new things about your body, sweetie. Them hormones ain't no joke. I ain't saying you got to be one of these like fucking fit bitches or whatever the case is, but are you going to your doctor to see if them eggs is still able to work, able to function? I don't care how long you done had the coochie up. Did you really have the coochie up because you wasn't being picked, or was it really a level of discipline? Was it because if there was no resistance there, because a lot of females would be like, oh yeah, I ain't have sex in 10 years, and they quick to turn around and say, oh, and this is no disrespect to anybody who is religious, but they quick to throw that religious, but they never sit here and say, I'm celibate. So then it's just like, okay, so if a dude actually shows you what you think you want emotionally, you gonna fall on that sword. Because when you meet a man who got bread, understand that that man is disciplined. He may not be, let's just say, if he's fit in some sort of fashion, he's going to expect you to be fit in some sort of fashion too. Because you have to know how that man operates. Because men that operate who have some level, it doesn't matter if he got 6 figures, 40K, 50K, or any of that. Are you actually equipped for that dude? Because men really don't care about how much you bring into the table now. They're like, okay, you got a half a brain, you're coachable, you're teachable, you're receptible. You able to reciprocate? Because if you're still worrying about that he got to make more than you, or he got to make this much, that means you're still operating from a space of fear. Because if you are comfortable within your skin and just say, yeah, maybe you make a little bit more money. So you mean to tell me you're not going to fuck with the nigga that respect you, that love on you, that is willing to be there for you and also hold you down and show you something that you ain't never been showed for, but you so focused on the bread part that he got to have more, or he got to have just as much as you, because you afraid that if you pour into him, he going to leave you. Handle that, baby girl. Handle that. Because there's a lot of guys out here that are paying more attention to how a lot of y'all women are carrying that emotional baggage, because it shows. It shows in very intricate details. You want somebody that's loyal, are you loyal to yourself? Not just loyal to your books, not just loyal to your money, not just loyal. Have you been operating in a level of hyper independent that you can't even recognize when someone is trying to integrate because you ain't take care of those parental wounds, or you still carrying on from the last fucking relationship from the dude that did you dirty? Men are paying more attention to that because the men are being more focused about their time and energy and what they're putting into. They don't care about how much bread or whatever it is that you're making. You could be the smartest female in the world and still be dumb. Y'all be talking all this emotional intellect, but y'all lack awareness. Intellect is one thing, but awareness is a whole other ball game. And awareness is not just of others. Awareness is also of yourself. Because a lot of females, they be like, I went to therapy. Some of y'all just went to therapy just to take fucking notes. I don't care about all that shit, because if it's just like how you showed up for yourself, it should show. Because them same dudes that y'all gunning for, y'all better best motherfucking believe that them niggas is no joke. Understand the type of dude that you're trying to manifest into your life. Because these men's out here, they really don't care. They don't care about that glitz and glam and all that other stuff. They really trying to see the inside details of a woman, the stitches and the seams of a female. And a lot of y'all stitches and seams is loose as fuck. Loose as fuck. Because the more and more I'm talking to the guys, and the more and more I'm seeing that the men are really learning about the inherent value outside of that, the more and more I'm noticing that men are being very particular about what and who they are choosing to be in a relationship with. They don't want to deal with a female that does not know how to integrate. They don't want to deal with a female that is not adaptable. They don't want to deal with a female who just thinks that, oh, okay, she could cook, she could clean, and that's about it. They're not trying to deal with that. They have no problem being protectors and providers. They love to sit here, but a lot of these guys have yet to see a female that can show up and actually show nurturing side without it being like a transaction. And like I said, I'm not talking about these bums. I'm not talking about the toxic. I'm talking about to the dudes that have a half a brain and they actually got motion. So if y'all was to sit here and come across a guy who respects you, because a dude is going to respect you first before he love you. And I'm going to say it again. Men respect first before they love. And if you don't sit here and see that, and you don't learn that now, you're going to be lost forever, shorty. So if you always want to lead with your accolades, or if you always want to lead with certain things and you don't know your inherent value outside of it, and all you want to say is, oh, I made this and I did this and or whatever. I'm not saying here, like I said, I'm not discrediting anything of that. But how are you being committed to yourself? Because that journey to yourself is no joke. A lot of y'all forget about that. Because then when you meet them, they still operating from the space of where they started from or the reason. So you got to understand there's always levels to it. A relationship, especially this point in time, so the economy shapes relationships. So the economy is very different now. The economy is very adaptive. We're moving at a fast pace. So if you still with that outdated mindset and talking about, oh, I want my grandparents and this, that, and the third, you understand what your grandparents had to do? Your grandparents was buying eggs when they was $1.29. So if the men's got to work harder, and on top of that, we're seeing so many people lose. If y'all don't peep how 2020 is being repeated, look how the unemployment rate skyrocketed in DC over the weekend. Nobody is safe. So if nobody is safe and the women are still dating from survival, or say the women who are in a position, because remember, they are pushing an agenda through us females. And if y'all don't see that shit, that's a whole other fucking conversation. But there is an agenda that's being pushed through women. And a lot of this shit and a lot of the stuff that a lot of women are listening to, y'all bitches gonna still be fucking single with this hyper independent shit. I'm only saying this because it's just like I'm tired of seeing 35 and older women on these fucking podcasts and shit talking about, oh, I want a man that's loyal. I want this, that, and the third. But it's just like, okay. But then next thing you know, you talking about, I want a man with money. But then y'all still broken. You don't want a broke nigga, but you still broken. And then you wonder why you are attracting men who are the way they are. Any person that you attract, they're going to confirm you. And if your confirmation is based off of because of you feel like you're entitled because you make a lot of money and you want another guy that makes more money or just as much, that's it's going to be very hard to find that in this economy. Like I said, I'm not talking about the man-childs. I'm not talking about the finesses. I'm not talking about the bums. I'm talking about the guys who got some shit going. Because most of the time, like I said, when I be listening, I be looking like, all right, you got 400K, but why you look like that? You making all this money, but why you look like that? Okay, cool. Now that you are in a position financially and you have the resources, why is it that the quality of your life is not showing on you? But you want a guy who's making more money. So you want a guy who's making more money than you or just as much, and he's unhealthy. And then y'all wonder why y'all bump into these narcissists. Because that's women's favorite word, narcissist. You got to do that work. You want a certain level of commitment, you have to be the energy you want to receive. I cannot stress that enough. Be the energy you want to receive. If it's just money and you want loyalty and commitment, you ain't really gonna find that, because there's gonna be a chink. Because what's gonna happen is that one is going to forget about the other, or one is going to try to change them. Or guess what? You get a man with money and he changes you. Working on self is not just about the external. It's cool. Get you some money. Once you get you some money, then what you gonna do? Once you get that money, what you gonna do with it? How is the quality of you going to improve? Because a lot of times I'm just seeing a lot of females, they got bread and they don't look healthy, mentally, physically, or emotionally. When they talk, you can hear it. They're either still talking about a motherfucking ex, or they still talking from a poverty mindset. Or physically they look unhealthy. Because sometimes, when a lot of times what they saying that they want, it ain't really what they need at the moment. You focusing on the wrong thing, Lloyd. How about you just, if you agree with it, then you agree with it. If you don't, then you don't. Like, I got good deduction skills. If you agree with it, you agree with it. Be happy. Or you want me to be talking like these bitter bitches out here? Men don't do this. Men really don't care. They don't care about us, girl. They don't care. Bah, bah, bah. You want me to talk like that? I could talk like that too. It could be fuck nigga this and duh, duh, duh. You know what I mean? Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. Because I just feel like we just need to change the conversation. Oh, man. Because you know what be funny, though? Men really don't care, yo. When you just show up and you just be your authentic self, whether if you got 50K, $50, 500K, or whatever the case is, a dude gonna rock with you. A dude gonna rock with you. Be a female with a half a brain. Be a female that out here that's actually trying to get it. Be a female that shows like some level of discipline, whether if it's in her body, in her mind, or whatever. Like, be a female that, like, you ain't just listening to these bullshit ass relationship podcasts or these fake ass people, or you listening to all this like fuck shit or everything that's talking about what men this, that, and third, or idealization. Like, they don't care about that. Because what men are really looking at is like, can you hold a conversation? Can you hold a conversation? You want a guy that's resourceful, but how are you resourceful? Do you want to share your motherfucking resources? Because y'all, I done seen a whole bunch of females. They be up. I got this. I got that. I got this. I got that. But the next thing you know, they don't want to share with a dude. A dude trying to come in, trying to integrate or want to know. Men want to feel wanted and needed in some level. He not intimidated. Men don't be intimidated by that. Men really don't be intimidated. Men really don't care about that. Your money is not going to intimidate no type of dude that is actually secure in a position. And like I said, I'm not talking to the man child. I'm not talking about the weirdos. I'm talking about the real ones. It might only be a couple of them out there because you don't find diamonds in the street. Yeah. The dudes is not intimidated by that. That's just a bullshit ass. Anytime when I hear females say that shit, I be like, oh, I don't. It's not the fact that they intimidated. It's the fact that you keep choosing. Because if you want to feel better about yourself, you blame people. Excuse me, if you want to feel good about yourself, you blame people. But if you want to feel better, you take onus on yourself. It's not the fact that they intimidated you. You in the wrong dating pool, Missy Pooh. You in the wrong dating pool. Them niggas ain't intimidated. No, because if you got a mind, you got all this stuff with you, and on top of that, you got some emotional awareness, not just some shit that you heard, or you still talking about some motherfucking ex that did you this, or whatever the case is. Men really don't care about all that. Men really don't. Men really don't. Because I sit there and I have conversations with them, and I done had conversations with all types of dudes. All my male clients is on a different motherfucking scale. And they always say the same thing. It's good to have a conversation or to be around like energy that's on some like logic. Bitches, use your fucking the front cortex, your singular front cortex. Like y'all using all this emotional shit, but y'all don't even got that down pat because y'all still holding on to something from the past. Y'all everything is based off of what either a last dude ain't do, or if you really learned from your last relationship, then why you still harboring or you still have that poverty mindset. Because dudes really don't be caring about that. It's all about if you want him to progress, then you got to show some progress within yourself. How is it that you got all of this, but you still in the same spot? So it's just like you built this up. Okay, cool. You got you some money. You got you some motion. So now how did the commitment to yourself change? Because that's what the guys really care about, is the commitment to yourself. How you show up for yourself is going to be how you show up in that relationship. How you take care of yourself should be an example of how you want to be treated. It should not be, oh, I could do this for myself, so I don't need. Like, nah, that shit don't fucking matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. Men really don't care about that, yo. Show up for yourself. Because how you show up for yourself and also be a female, it's just like, oh, okay, cool, now I could put you on. I'm not scared of putting you on. Because giving and peace ain't going to be nothing. It's nothing for me. It ain't nothing for me to share. It ain't nothing for me to share. You a loving female, you've been working on your femininity and this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. So now you should trust your discernment. What are you scared of? If you healed, then put your wisdom into action. They not intimidated. You just keep picking the wrong ones. That's it. Ain't no nigga out here intimidated by that. They love that shit. You just keep trying to fish. You over here in a motherfucking, you a saltwater fish, but you over there trying to be in a fucking pond. Men really don't care. They don't. They really don't. Be a female with a half a brain. Men are learning more about discernment now, more than ever. Men are learning more about discernment because men aren't taught discernment. Females are taught discernment, but then they lose that shit down the line. Females are taught discernment young. You have to discern how to find a good man. You got to do this. You know, females are groomed for that. You got to have discernment when it comes to picking the best. Okay, cool. Now it's just about, all right, if you know you want to protect the provider, you want this type of dude, do you understand what's going to come along with that? Are you actually built for that type of dude? You got to ask yourself that. You got to ask yourself that. It's like when you go to school, when you go to college, there's prerequisites before you get to that course. Them prerequisites ain't no joke. Men really don't care. They don't care about all that. They're looking at how you show up, the commitment to yourself every single time. Every single time, yo. Because they're noticing, once again, because the economy shapes relationships. If we're in if we're in an economy, or just right now, just that we're looking at society is now moving at a rapid pace. Just in general, we see all the weird stuff that's going on. We see all of this. Men are not looking for females to turn around and teach them how to do this. Like, nah, like, it's just like, look, if you're going to teach me something, you're going to put me on to something, it has to be teamwork. Teamwork make a dream work. A lot of people are not moving in a space of integrating. Everybody is still moving off based off of fucking survival. If you don't see that right now 2025 is modernized of 2020, then you out here, you fucking lost. We in a wild ass fucking economy. So if you making 400K and you thinking that you're gonna find somebody else that's making either more than you or just as much as you, and you don't think that that person is not going to be a reflection of you, because if you think that just because dealing with that person that's gonna come with dealing with somebody that's making just as much as you or more than you is gonna have all them other qualities, no. If you are selfish, they're gonna be selfish too. If you are not giving in peace, they're not going to give in peace. Understand, your person should confirm you. It should confirm where you're at in life. And it's not just on a materialistic level. If y'all don't get that shit, y'all going to keep attracting the same sort of person. Y'all going to attract super fuck niggas or super bum niggas. You still going to keep picking the same type of dude. Why? Because you want to be loved, but yet you over here, you keep picking bums or mama's boys or man-childs. Or you picking men who got money, but they treat you like shit. But then that'll be a trade-off. So you go against your principles, your morals, and all that other stuff for a nigga that got a bag, but yet a dude that don't got a bag, he may not have the biggest bag, but he got something going on, but he treats you properly, and he also, on top of that, he shows up for himself. I don't know. Shit is crazy. And then come on this app talking about the guy's narcissist. Are you really what you asking for? So that's my rant. That's my TED Talk. My tea is done. Just my thoughts, people. I love y'all. And if you want to feel better, take the onus on yourself. That's it. Be the energy you want to receive. I don't care how much motherfucking degrees you have. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. Are you a good fucking person? And if you, do you actually know what it is that you need? Because you know what, when you actually do the work and you reparent yourself and you take care of that, best believe your requirements is going to change. Your requirements is going to change. You going to be like, oh shit, what I thought I really needed or wanted ain't really what the fuck it was. You'll be surprised. A lot of that stuff that you choose is from a place of lack. Think about it, yo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because you don't want to be you don't want to be 40-something years old talking about I'm making all this money and you still can't find a nigga that is kind. Because you're like, oh, he got to make this amount of money. Y'all seen that movie with Michael Ealy? Who is it? I forgot the name of it, but I know it's a Tyler Perry movie. It's with Michael Ealy and what's her name? Taraji. Taraji was making the money, and Michael Ealy, he was a chef. And the next thing you know, she didn't want to give him the time because he was a chef. So she gave her old dude or whoever it was, somebody who was working for the same company. That nigga ain't even like ask her how her day was. Imagine working your ass off for that 400, 100K or 80K. And you dealing with a dude, he make just his money, but he cheat. Or he don't even ask you how you doing. Or he's unhealthy. He ain't working on himself emotionally. Or because he's providing and you able to stack your money, now you gotta shut the fuck up. Listen. You gotta take care of yourself. Especially if you come into a position where you are, take care of yourself. Take better care of yourself. Take the onus on yourself. Whatever time you take out of the dating game or sexual activities, it gotta show. Something has to show different. Don't tell me you ain't had sex in 10 years and there's nothing about you physically that has shown. I don't care about the motherfucking business that you created. If you got the business and you took 10 years off talking about, oh, I ain't been with somebody in 10 years. Okay, cool. So physically, we got to see something. Okay, physically, emotionally, like something got to show. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? 10 years you ain't been with nobody. Okay, cool. So if you ain't been with nobody in 10 years, that means you had 10 years to be alone and work on yourself. How did you work on yourself within those 10 years? If all that you worked on was the business in 10 years, that means you forgot about yourself for that whole 10 years because you were so focused on building. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but just please believe and know that being that you forgot about yourself those 10 years, and now that you are in the position financially or resources, that's a whole nother level. Consumer-wise, yeah, you got the bigger house, the car, and this, that, and the third. But what about the mechanics? It's like a motherfucking car. You get a nice car, the maintenance ain't no joke. That oil change is $300. I want not just emotional intellect, because we also got to understand some people out here, they could be book smart, but not street smart. You need to have awareness, especially females. Females don't realize that, like, yo, you do know that when you're older, 35 and up, you got to pay more special attention to your body more now than ever. You do realize that you have to be mindful of your hormones. You got to be mindful of your emotional awareness. You got to understand sometimes when you tripping the fuck out because there's some shit going on with you physiology wise or biology. You know what I'm saying? There's something going on. Are you able to articulate that? Do you even know that shit about yourself? Or you still thinking that you a young whippersnapper and, oh, I'm feminine and I'm a female, so I'm gonna get emotional? No, bitch, you better know how to be aware of the fucking emotions and be able to articulate that shit so that way he can understand you better. Because if you don't understand you, don't expect his ass to understand your ass. You have emotional intellect all you want. Awareness. I want to know that awareness. You got to be book smart and street smart, because that's what the intellect part is about, book smart. But when you get out there, you know how to apply that shit? No. Being very self-aware to catch yourself like, yo, you know what? I'm responding from a certain space that a old me. Are you going to be receptive to that? Are you going to be able to be aware of that? Like, oh, wow, like, you know what? I was tripping, my bad. Or you still going to be like, oh, no, this is me. Take me as I am. Don't nobody want to deal with that nasty ass attitude. Don't nobody want to deal with somebody that's just like up and down, don't know how to regulate their asses. Nobody don't want to deal with that. But you think that a guy who is running whatever business got time for that? No. They going to leave your ass there or cheat on you. And then you going to get mad. Then you're going to be like, oh, he's a narcissist. Self-aware is definitely a sexy trait. It's very sexy. Be aware. Like I said, men really don't be caring about certain shit, but it's just about every female wants progress in a guy. A lot of guys want to see that level of progress in a female, because then that means she's teachable. That means she's open. That means it's just like, oh, okay, I could work with that. She's a work in progress. I see her making the effort. I see her being self-aware of certain shit. She ain't just sitting around the house being the low energy and complaining about it or using it as an excuse or a blanket or blaming. She's past that. Men don't really be caring about the motherfucking past. They want to see how you are showing up in the future. How you showing up. The current decisions that you're making, because if you can't get that emotional shit down pat now or be aware of it now, That's detrimental to what he's building, and he gonna leave your ass. He gonna leave your ass. Simple as that. Because the economy shaped relationships. It's too much risky shit going on. Nah, it's too much riskiness going on. It's too much risky. It's too risky out here. It's risky business. Imagine you over there, you trying to build, or you dealing with a dude who got some motion, got something going on. He got a little change in his pocket. He's stable. And now it's just like, all right, I'm dealing with a female. She got some motion. She got money, but she ain't got it all up there. That's even a worse combination, to see a female who has all the resources and all the money, and she is mentally and or emotionally unstable. Them bitches be diabolical, yo, and I seen it happen. I done seen women like that, and then they try to take down guys who may not have as much. Listen, man, guys is being very mindful. They over here, they vetting process is real different. And I'm seeing it. That their vetting process is real different. They are learning their inherent value outside of their hand. They like, nah, the meaning protector and provider is having a whole different meaning. It ain't like how it was back in the days where your grandpa coming home and giving a check to the female and all this other shit. Because even running a household, it ain't an easy job. That how you think. You think you're gonna be at home in them fluffy robes all goddamn day? No, man, because let's just say you dealing with kids. Don't have a child that's on the spectrum. That's a whole different ballgame within itself. You equipped for that? You mentally equipped for that? They looking. I'm telling y'all, they looking. I'm just saying, the shit that these females be caring about, men really don't be caring. They really don't be caring. They be like, yo, like, can I fucking trust you around these damn kids? Because you don't know what the fuck you gonna get nowadays. Because they putting so much in the foods and stuff. They putting a lot of different things. They can't, like, are you mindful about what you're speaking, what you're saying, what you're consuming? I don't give a, you could be a bitch with money or with no money. Men really don't care. They seeing how women operate. What space are you operating from? That's what they paying attention to. Why? Because the economy shapes relationships. Because they understanding how the men's is doing the math now. They understand that math real quick. They understanding that math real quick. How much their current decisions is going to cost them in the long run. So men really don't be caring about all that extra shit. Y'all females be like, oh, the man gotta have this. Niggas be like, I don't care about that. I want to see how you really operate. I'm paying attention to the stitches and seams. I want to see what you're doing in your day. I want to see how you taking care of your body. I want to see how you showing up for yourself. That's the shit that they really care about. How you showing up for yourself. How you taking care of your body? You want to have my kids, but when the last time you got your coochie checked? When the last time you want to bear my child, but you are systematically continuing some level of emotional trauma that was given to you. You may not even realize certain shit. Are you actually ready to have another person come into your space since you've been alone for all this time? You ready to have another man come in your space and actually sit back? Because them niggas with money, what they good at? They good with money, right? So what they gonna do? They gonna do an audit. You ready for that? You ready for him to be like, yo, okay, so if we trying to do this, this is how we gonna get from here to there. Are you open to that? Or are you gonna be so comfortable where you're at or so scared that now you're gonna shut him out? You don't even realize that you got a wall up because you ain't take care of that. But you took care of your money though. Oh, you got you some money. Now that you got you some money, now you gotta take care of you. Because like I said, men really don't care about all that extra shit. Men want to see, okay, you adaptable? Can you adapt? How you show up for yourself? You want to be in a commitment with me, but I want to see the commitment to you. to yourself. I want to see how you are up here. I want to see how this is here. I want to make sure that I'm not getting in a relationship with you and all them other motherfuckers that you've been in a relationship with. I want to see you come into this with a clean slate. Because if I'm coming into this and I'm sitting here and I'm being 100 with you, oh, shorty, you better make sure that you are showing up for yourself too. You better make sure you showing up. You better make sure you showing up. Because the niggas is not playing. They did the math real quick. They said, hold on, I'm not trying to end up like X, Y, and Z. Because just think about it. Just really think about it. Whether if they came from broken homes or whatever the case is, they doing the math real quick. Or even if they just looking at their peers, they're changing their environment. They're looking at certain things very differently where it's just like, okay, I done invested this, so now I understand that this is not just going to cost me on a monetary value, but this is also going to cost me mentally, emotionally, and physically. Do I have enough energy in my bank to put into this woman right here? Is she open to change? Because I'm open to change. I'm open to certain energy. Is she open? Is this supposed to be the woman that's going to bear my child? How's she taking care of her body? If she got kids, how's she taking care of them kids? Did she forget about herself? Because just imagine seeing a female who done held it down for so many years and she did this and she did that, but yet she never took time out for herself because she was waiting for relief. Because some women are waiting for relief. Some women are waiting to be saved. Some women are dating from a hurt space. Or some women are dating from a sick and tired of doing it themselves space. If you didn't create that safe space for yourself, then how can you be wanting that to be given to you by somebody else if you have no idea how to give it for yourself? Asking for someone to give you something that you don't have is from a space of lack. I don't have this, so I need you to give me this. So when they give it to you, then what you gonna do with it? I'm just saying. Because the men's is doing the math. Their current decisions, they are seeing how much it's gonna cost them in the long run. And for all you females out here talking about you want a nigga with money and he got to make this amount of money, he got to make more than you, do know that he is going to be looking at how you show up for you. He ain't looking at your bank account because he don't care about that. He ain't looking about how many motherfucking real estate properties or whatever the case is. All right, bitch, you know how to do math. You know how to read. That's great. How are you showing up for yourself? Because the moment that attitude come out, or you showing that you are not somebody that's open to actual change, but you talking about you want a man, and no, what you want is you just want DoorDash dick, and that's the reason why you keep getting them DoorDash dicks, or you keep getting them dudes with money and treat you like shit, or them ain't shits. You keep getting ain't shit. So I'm just saying. All right, Tech Talk really done. Lady y'all.